What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yo, this your boy Al Mushrock, man. What's going on, man? Peep this, man. You see that right there? It says, it says the false prophet assassination right now. Um, Anybody that's feeling, you know, don't like just build on true history and stuff like that, then y'all need to build off because this is real, man. This is so real. And what I'm gonna do something that I don't usually do. I'm gonna flip this camera around. And I want y'all to hear this, and I'm gonna critique this thing as y'all hear this thing. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm laying down chilling for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Before I get out of here, I gotta go to work around like 12. So check this out, man. This is crazy. Now listen, this is Malcolm X speaking on his house being
Degree, what
bombed.
temperature was it? Was about 15 or 20. I stood in my underwear, bare feet, in the middle of my driveway with a gun in my hand for 45 minutes, waiting for the police or waiting for the fire department to come. If I want to put on a show, I can find a better way than that to put it on. If you attack me, that's one thing. I know what to do when you start attacking me. But when you attack...
Yo, now the organization, this man went and made a complaint to the police that these people trying to kill him. They just try to bomb his house. They told the police that he did it himself. And there was no more further investigation because if it was, somebody would have got arrested for doing that. I don't know if they did or not. But this is this is Malcolm X speaking on how they bombed his house and almost killed his daughters.
Sleeping baby while you are lower than a... I think the attitude of the police and the
This is
press
Betty Shabazz.
saying that my husband had bombed his own house, I think it was very unfair for them to make this accusation against him after all of the times that he had said publicly, he had said privately, he had said on a lot of occasions that we had received several threats that his life was in danger, and everyone took it lightly and said that he was talking out of his mind, that it didn't happen. And when I know he knew, and everyone else actually knew, that threats from time to time had been made on his life, but he was just lucky to get past it. We received threatening phone calls, and all of these things were reported. And the police and the press, when the house was bombed, they were very unfair to us, saying that my husband had bombed his own house, which was very ridiculous.
Minister Malcolm, when you broke with Elijah Muhammad back in March, you said it was because the black...
The police said, I want y'all to hear what Malcolm X said about the police. Right here.
Muslim movement upon the orders of Elijah Muhammad. Now they had come around, so they had planned to do it from the front and the back so that I couldn't get out. They covered the front completely, the front door. Then they had come to the back, but instead of getting in directly in back of the house and throwing it this way, they stood at a 45-degree angle and tossed it at the window, so it glanced and went onto the ground. I don't know if I woke my husband up or he woke me up, but I remember him pushing me out of the bedroom door, and I looked to my right, and I saw all of the fire. And the fire hit the window, and it woke up my second oldest baby. But the fire burned on the outside of the house. So had that fire, had that one gone through that window, it would have fallen on a 6-year-old girl, a 4-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old girl. And I'm going to tell you, if it had done it, I'd taken my rifle and gone after anybody in sight. I would not wait. The police know the criminal operation of the Black Muslim movement because they have thoroughly infiltrated it. That's what I...
Now, that's what I wanted y'all to hear. Let me see. Let me let y'all hear that again.
went onto the ground.
And I don't know if I woke my husband up or he woke me up, but I remember him pushing me out of the bedroom door, and I looked to my right, and I saw
Yo,
all
this
the
is
fire.
real, man.
And the fire hit the window, and it woke up my second oldest baby. But the fire burned on the outside of the house. So had that fire, had that one gone through that window, it would have fallen on a 6-year-old girl, a 4-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old girl. And I'm going to tell you, if it had done it, I'd taken my rifle and gone after anybody in sight. I would not wait. The police know the criminal operation of the Black Muslim movement because they have thoroughly infiltrated it.
That's my point. That's my point. And that's why they had to kill him. Now, back to my question in the beginning of this video. If you teaching people self-righteousness to uplift themselves, why you're dealing in criminal activities? What do you took people out of the streets and teach them how to be white collar criminals? Teach them how to cover their shit? You was teaching them not to be so messy? Malcolm really wanted to help people like me. That's why I'm not a part of no organization. Because they try to get in your mind. I thought this was about saving souls. Why are you trying to get in my mind? You, not God, but you. Malcolm said, everybody listen to Malcolm. Them 12 years when he came with that knowledge, he brought like 40,000 people into the Nation of Islam. Now all them people came in on believing what Malcolm said. You believed in the teachings of Malcolm X. Malcolm seen a lot of stuff. He was from the street. He knew how to keep his mouth shut, but he wasn't dumb. He had a photographic memory. He could remember every fucking thing that went on. See, when a teacher keeps certain things from a prior student and you let that prior student have unlimited access to the media, but then you're keeping certain dealings that you're doing from him, and when he speaks, you was the inspiration of what he was speaking, and he speaks how he always spoke, and you punish him for that because of your secrecy, because of your secret dealings with the government. If the white man's the devil, you heard I said if, because I think the white man is the superb servant / student. That's what I think the white man is. I think the white man is a very good student. Now, who is his teacher? Self-hate. What do y'all think y'all doing, man? We out here eating poison, know we eating poison. We out here letting them poison our reservoir and charge us for water, which is naturally free. We living in houses with the AC, that shit is killing us. All our houses should have no windows, have screens. In the wintertime, have sheds, just shut the motherfuckers. Seal them off. Open them up at a certain time, let the house air out. We don't even do that no more. When I grew up, my grandmother used to keep the windows open. Keep them open. We living in a social society that is controlled by using psychological bioengineering we're contaminating ourselves with these phones. We're becoming selfish, greedy, lustful, gluttony. I said that already. Envious of other people. Everything the Ten Commandments said not to do, we're doing it. You know, when you got that child, the one that whenever you tell them not to do something, they do the opposite. Every time. And the way you get them is by telling them to not do the opposite so that they can do what you can do. I mean, do what you want them to do. That's on a mass scale, man. We are creatures of habit. We're bound to repeat ourselves. Even Buddhism teach that. What is birth, death, rebirth, repetition? So living can become a habit, a habit. Wanting to be in this existence can become a habit. Everybody speaks on all this outer celestial greatness. Everybody speaks on all this inner celestial greatness. But nobody can never teach someone how to get there correctly and prepared for whatever is going to go on. Only thing people can do is just philosophize about it, on what they think that it was or what they think that it is. I ran into some new knowledge, man. It changed my whole way of thinking. It changed my whole viewpoint of life. I'm sitting here praising something that's 9,000 miles across Atlantic Ocean, while my ancestors laying here crying out, telling me to give them back their land so I can give them a proper burial, so that their soul can be at ease and they can just dwell with their ancestors in peace. But because they didn't get a proper burial, because they couldn't see their whole family around them as they're transcending, knowing everything's going to be good, making the transcension, if that's a real word, proper. Whenever family around family, when they passing, they go peacefully because they know everybody's okay. The ones who struggle and buck out, that's the ones who just can't grip with reality. They can't understand. They want to stay when it's time to go. Just relax. Is death bad? Is the sun bad? Is night bad? Is breathing bad? Is your heart bad? Death is good when it's your time. You can't pick it. You can't choose it. But you're going to have to go when it's time to go. And you're going to know. Only you. Nobody else in the world, only you. This man taught. I read his autobiography when I was in prison. You know? And his autobiography was very, very inspirational. Because he was similar to me. When I went to jail at the age of 20, I didn't know how to read properly. But after months of reading, chopping his book up, using his book as the book that I use and look up the words in the dictionary and stuff like that, I use his book to study, his autobiography. I never told nobody that. And it helped me. It helped me out a lot because I was in prison. And really, it saved me from really getting 30 years and time added on to my time. But he taught to me from what I got from it. He taught us the sky's the limit, man. Really, it don't matter what color you is. What up, Drew? What's good, man? You know, it don't matter what color you is. It's all about, do you know what I'm saying? Achieving. Doing what your purpose in life wants you to do. You got people out here just wilding. They narcissistic. Look that word up. That's really like an academic in our society, man. There's a lot of people can be diagnosed narcissistic, and then that's real bad. You know, narcissism is good, but it also is bad. In certain situations, narcissism is good, but 85% of it is bad. Because it's crazy. Just look narcissism up and just start looking at people around you. Borderline, I ain't gonna say borderline, split personalities. Look at people around you. You gotta look at this because I can't understand how Malcolm X helped this organization, brought in 40,000 people, and because he commented on John F. Kennedy's, and he did it respectfully, he didn't say it in a disrespectful way. Mind you, people don't know that up under John F. Kennedy reign, he made a deal with the mafia to kill Fidel Castro by poisoning his food. Yeah. John F. Kennedy signed a bill on that. Cuba was being turned over. They was having a little revolutionary war at that time. Okay? Fidel Castro was telling them, the mafia, to get out of Cuba. Because they was trying to make Cuba into like a Las Vegas. Fidel said, not my country, bruh. Y'all got to get out. And he kicked out the puppet president that which the United States put in power in Cuba. You got to know history, man. I mean, John F. Kennedy for civil rights, that was cool. But if we citizens, why the hell we need civil rights? That's the question. If we are full-blooded American citizens, why do so-called African Americans need civil rights? Why y'all won't give us full rights? Because y'all don't have the power to. Let's get back to the top. I'm going to build on that. They don't have the power to give us full. You want to know why? I'm going to give it to you right now. I was going to wait. Because we are the aborigines of this land. They can't give us a title that they can't give it because we're the landlords. How can a tenant tell the landlord that he's a tenant. That don't make sense. We aboriginals, the so-called African Americans, I'm not going to say all of us, I'm going to say like 90% of us are from this land. But they taught us so much self-hate. And they taught us to look at our cousins across them waters as our people. They are our people, but not our people like that, because we got our own tribes and they had their own tribes. Yes, we look familiar because we come from the same land. We peoples, we from the same blood. But we done established a whole new civilization over here on Turtle Island, 9,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean from Africa. And that's truth. So, what I'm telling you, they teach us self-hate. I'm speaking about these organizations, these so-called African American organizations, talking about they for the upliftment of the so-called black people. And don't you know in Latin, black means pale? Did you know that? I didn't even know that. I mean, I was like, whoa, because I took the definition of what I was being taught. You know what I'm saying? And which I was being taught. So I never really just looked up the word black. But in Latin, I mean, I think it's in Latin or I think it's in Latin or French or something like that. In French, I think. No, in French, I think it's in French or Latin. They say black means pale. Okay, let's get this, man. Let's get this stuff. Self-hatred. That's what they teach us. You got more black people killing black people. I even seen just till recently, if you see a black man beat a white man up, he won't even beat him as bad as he would beat a black dude up. We psychologically trained to be straight. Yo, we like dogs, bro. You ever see your dog, nigga? Listen, a dog is a dog. Let's say a pit, right? Cats be like, yo, man, I love me a pit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Get them a pit. That pit, oh, the family loves the pit. Oh my God, this family loves the pit. The friends love the pit. Oh Lord, but that's a dog. It's not a human, right? But now let another dog come around. What that pit gonna do? Boom, and when the pit goes at him, everybody like, yo, man, that dog can kill us. But all his friends like, yo, man, I want me a pit like that, yo. I want me a pit like that. For real, but that pit ill. But that pit don't like its own kind. That pit is crazy. What dog, check this out. Now, a dog is supposed to protect man, right? What other dog is gonna break in your crib and try to fuck your woman or take your life or motherfucking take the food or take a TV out your crib? What dog can do that? So your dog's supposed to be trained to protect your house from humans. But niggas train they pits to dislike other dogs. And they reward the pits for that. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that's just like how some of the elite, because I'm not going to say all white people. I'm going to say some of the elite. Look at some of these psychologically deranged zombies out here like dogs, because you will flip on your own kind and you will be loyal to another nationality quick. I know some people in let's say interracial relationships. You know how you're gonna see that that y'all didn't supposed to breed when your seeds come out. Your seeds will be your judgment. Your kids will be your judgment. Because certain races do not supposed to breed. They don't. Because if everybody's supposed to be with everybody, then why we all different colors? Why we all different in texture of hair, facial sweep? Why? We wasn't given all this to mix with somebody else to be for it to annihilate and go away. No, we was mixed with this to keep it alive and let people know this is our stamp. This is our environment. This is our ecosystem. We know how to take care of this part. Leave us the fuck alone. Self-hate. We don't know our culture. We don't know our language. We don't know our ancestors. We don't know our thought process or how we supposed to process our knowledge. We ain't even getting taught the right way. Now they want you to go to Africa after they done raped it for damn near 2,000 years, probably more than that. So we can all go to Africa after they done got all the diamonds, done raped all the gems, so they can just drop bombs on us and just get rid of us, all of us at one time. Every nationality has a purpose. All these black organizations, I'm gonna name them: Nation of Islam, Moore Science Temple, 5%ers, what else? What else they got out there? Dr. Malachi York, all that, man. Leave that shit alone. I'm saying it. And I studied all that shit. That shit built me up as a powerful, very observant man, but I don't want to think like no cracker. I want to think like, excuse me, man. I don't want to think like no white man. I don't want to think like how this government has taught me to think. I want to think like how my native Aboriginal ancestors thought, because that's gonna keep me alive. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want this understanding of what's going on right now. You know something? You got cats out there, they get over 234 views talking about hip hop artists and saying the most bizarre stuff on radio. People view that. But then if you see somebody like a brother like me or a brother, you know, they probably got like 2,000 views, 100 views. Because people don't, the truth hurt. Like Drake said, the truth hurt and lies heal. Placebo. That's a fucking lie from the doctor. And it heals people. Self-hate. How can you get with a white woman and be patient with her and try your hardest to uplift her to a status of perfection, and when you with a black woman, oh, you talk too much, you don't give her a chance, you trying to fuck her goddamn best friend. You trying to play her like she's stupid, but the black woman too strong, too beautiful, too strong. Your bitch ass break down, put your hands on her, treat her like shit, try to take her beauty, and then go get with a white woman and try to act like you the most properest nigga around in front of her racist family. I don't understand that shit, man. Only thing I see when I see shit like that is a pit bull. That's what I see. And vice versa for black women too. You can talk all this shit about black men. The nigga dumb, nigga can't keep a job, nigga woo woo. You get a white man, nigga don't got a job. He ain't all that motherfucking smart either. But you got patience enough to fuck with him for years and have about 5 or 6 kids by that motherfucker. Self-hate. Self-hate. And who taught you to self-hate yourself? Your own people. Not no white man. Your own people taught you to self-hate yourself. A white man can't teach you to hate you. Only you can teach you to hate you. The white man just put his life in front of you and you act like you couldn't do what he does and you start looking at yourself and start breaking yourself down. So you taught yourself. The white man just taught you, just let you see how he living. And what he unconquered and what he done achieved. And by him showing you his resume, you starting to feel motherfucking fucked up about yourself. So you go home and smack your wife up. Kick your kids in the closet. Black men learns how to make businesses. First thing they do is trying to game every black person they work with. Yo, man, this shit, just pay motherfuckers. You gotta take hits, man. If this is your shit, you gotta make sure we be paid. You don't gotta get paid. This is your shit. Niggas don't think like that. Black people don't think like that. They want the employees to take the hit and they want to take the lion's share and think people are gonna work for them. That's fucking retarded. And all that's for you to try to live on a status that society said that was cool. And then when you get there, you see that half the motherfuckers is front. They got them big ass houses with no food in them. Some of them had them big ass houses and they goddamn lights be on all the time, nigga. But they in that big ass house. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of them motherfuckers be front. And a lot of them motherfuckers on Section 8. Let's keep it real. Come on, man. Stop trying to live up to what other people want you to live up to and live up to what your purpose is, man. Why people stay on their jobs for 20-something years? Because they loved it. That's what they wanted to do. Why people quit? Because they can't stand that shit and they want to quit before they catch a charge. Self-hate. 1, we do it to ourselves. 2, we watch and observe someone else's success and that start making us feel some kind of way. 3, we can't get along with our own people because of this. And that don't make sense. Certain tribes shouldn't mate with certain tribes. Now I'm going within my nation. Some native tribes didn't have to mate with native tribes because it was bad blood. But nowadays, people don't care. They mate with whoever they want to mate with because that's what Roman society wanted back then, and they still doing it today. That's why they still here, because they mixed up their society. They're not, man, listen, man. As Aborigine of Turtle Island, and I don't got to prove shit to nobody. That's true. I'm going to prove it to myself in 2019. And I'm going to show it on here. And I'm telling you, peoples, we need to go and register as Aborigines, native Aborigines of this land in the UN New York. We need to have a march up there. Let's have a 1,000,000-man march to the UN to sign up as Aborigines of this land. Let's start doing that. I challenge any old black organization. Now, Nation of Islam All y'all boys, stop teaching people that we Asiatic and all this here. We are aboriginals of this land. Stop holding that secret for them people. We can take care of our land. That's the same thing they saying about South Africa. They think South Africa can't take care of their land by themselves. Them people say we can take care of our land. We've been doing it before you came. Let's do it, man. Stop hating on each other. Stop killing Chicago. Stop killing each other. That shit is stupid. That shit is stupid. Stop killing each other, man. Word up. And I think your homeboys who y'all fighting over wouldn't want y'all doing that, man. Because I know half of y'all boys are scared out of y'all. I know half of y'all boys, my mouth dry as hell. I know half of y'all boys are scared out of your minds. In Chicago. I know 95% of y'all brothers scared out of your minds, man. I would. Even when I was in the streets, man. Doing my thing. I had a little fear. But I know this here. And this is for real, bro. Y'all boys need to stop killing each other, man. That's the cold, that's like the whole root of self-hatred, bro. Like, that's what trips me out. Cause that's the headquarters of the Nation of Islam. They also had the Peace Stone Rangers. They also had El Rookins. They also got the Growth and Development Brothers. They also got the Vice Lords. Them boys got lessons to uplift lessons, man. They have black revolutionary lies lessons. All them organizations. So why the hell they killing each other? They supposed to be unified, flying one flag by now. Why is there so much bloodshed in Chicago, man? And they go, I'm from Southside Chicago. What, you proud of you killing your own self, bruh? You proud of committing suicide? Oh, we don't play in Southside. Man, listen, is you proud of committing suicide, man? Them babies ain't growing to be 25, bro. Even the girls, y'all out there, the boys out there killing, who's supposed to be protecting, they out there snatching the girls up, taking their fucking organs. They up there in that middle region, Michigan, Chicago, in that little region right there. They out there letting them boys out there killing themselves while they snatching them girls up because the boys can't protect them. Girls got to understand, okay? Your body is not made for you to be fighting and defending yourself. That Black Panther shit is good, but understand, you need to train your boys like that, to be like that. You have the power to train your sons to be like that. That's what Black Panther showed you and them women. That's the power that you have to develop your kids to be like that. But black women, y'all should be able, see, y'all, black women, y'all give birth to a nation. Y'all should be more like back in the days when I was, man, I thought all girls were smart, bro. Every man, when I was young, all girls in school paid attention. They always wrote down, they used to write so pretty and perfected. They always used to read, like what, you know what I'm saying? Because they have to train the kids. Now, if you got all the men out there, black, so-called black men out there killing each other, you feel what I'm saying? Who's protecting the woman and the babies? Niggas are proud, oh, yo, man, I'm 20, man, I got 4 baby mamas. Who protecting the baby mamas? And then in school, y'all stop saying that y'all want to donate your body to science. Don't sign that shit. Because that's a slick way how they get your organs, man. Don't sign that shit. Stop. Don't say, no, I don't want to donate my body to science, man. I'm donating my shit to my family, nigga. And they can do whatever they want to do with it. Burn me up or throw me in the garbage can, nigga. But no, because that's why, yo, like Dick Gregory say, check out all them people, them kids got killed just out of the blue. Check and see if they was up under that donate their science to donate their body to science. See if they was up there, they signed up under that shit. And that's their school records. So guess what? Their school records are sealed. Only way you can get their school records is through the FBI files. See? Or have them sign over, or have the mother, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, if you ain't going through the parents, you gotta go through the FBI. So that's a good way to cover that shit up. You feel what I'm saying? So all you black brothers out there in Chicago, everywhere, fuck that. Chicago, California, Oakland, all the way down to goddamn LA, Southern California, New York, all boroughs, Connecticut from Pistol Waving all the way to Hartford. You know what I'm saying? All the way to Norwalk. Massachusetts, Springfield, all the way to goddamn Boston. Vermont, Maine, everywhere. Texas, from Houston to Dallas, from Dallas to San Antonio. Everywhere. Florida, from Miami to Jacksonville. Everywhere. Y'all brothers need to stop that shit, man. Y'all look ignorant, man. And the thing is, bro, go back and view that war in Nigeria back in the early 90s. How them brothers was just shooting each other in the street. I looked at that and I was in disgust, man. That's what turned me off about Africa. That's what turned me off about Africa. That man walked up to that brother, put that fucking AK to that brother's head and pulled the trigger. And that brother looked it just like him. That's sick, bruh. Every African revolution was savage. Bloodthirst, man. And then we over here, man, they done influenced us. Got us over here trying to mimic them. We was never like this. You can see in them boy logs, them journals, them journeymen on their voyage here. He wrote about our society. He wrote about it. He showed us how we was. We was that what the Bible speaks of. We never used to lust after each other women. We never commit murder to our brother. We always looked after our neighbor. We never lust for our neighbor property. We helped our neighbor. We didn't put no carvings of no gods. Because we knew that our ancestors was the gods. Man, what the hell is, man? Listen, man. Bruh. All y'all need to stop killing each other. If you want to fight for your boy honor, train up boxing, put money on it, beat the nigga ass, win the money, go put a tombstone on your boy's shit, and be there every year to celebrate his birthday. And tell him that story every year how you beat that nigga ass for him. And then one year you may have that nigga who killed him come out there and apologize to him, man. You can talk to the dead. People, man, yo, man, y'all need to, man, for real, man, this is getting too crazy. It's getting out of control. It's like our hatred for ourselves is so profound that we don't got no tolerance. Every time I look on Facebook, they got sisters fighting, and the thing that makes me sick, they got the other elderly people and other people around watching them. Watching them. They got the babies out there too watching them. That's the new culture. They getting you ready for violence. And then guess what Rome used to do? They used to do the blood sports. That's already damn near here, MMA. Come on, MMA is damn near blood sports, man. But they're going to get to a point, they're going to get to a sport that niggas going to sign contracts and they can get killed in it. So in a minute, people going to be, they're already watching people die online now anyway. We're going backwards, man. I mean, we're not going forwards. We're going backwards. And they're making up all this high-tech digital technology to keep you fucked up, to not let you know that we're going backwards. What's going to happen before this planet lets you like contaminate her? She's going to swallow us the fuck up. The only thing she need to do is just tilt just a little bit, and all that motherfucker, like 2 miles of water come flowing through. I don't give a fuck what type of military you got. I don't care what type of nuclear bombs you got. I don't care what type of superpower city you got. If 2 miles of water come flying through this bitch, we all dead, bruh. So I think you need to leave Mother Earth the fuck alone. Stop goddamn drilling in her. Stop fucking with her blood and her goddamn minerals. You know what I'm saying? And just let her be, and we don't need all this high-tech shit. We just need to live and make sure everybody eat in this motherfucking world, and make sure everybody got a house, what it is, food, clothes, and shelter. That's what we need to be making sure everybody got in this motherfucking world. You know what I'm saying? Jesse Divided Ventura made a good analysis. I'm jumping to finances. He was saying, forget a minimum wage, let's have a maximum wage. He said, you got motherfuckers like the Walton family who own Walmart. They said every person in that family are billionaires. What the fuck what them people need all that money for? What they need all that money for? But then your employees need subsidized housing. I mean, everybody in the Walton's family who own Walmart is billionaires, but their employees need to be on welfare to make it. What type of shit is that, man? What type of shit is that? Like, I totally agree. Jesse Ventura say, if a person work 40 hours a week, I don't give a damn what job it is, they should be able to take care of themselves. They should be able to have a house and take care of that house and everything. He said, you don't care what it is. Motherfucker could be shining shoes. But if he do shining shoes for 40 hours a week, he should be able to take care of his whole household. And that should be it. You got all these individual families, fucking billionaires. What makes y'all different from the kings and the queens and the bureaucrats back in the days? It's no difference. You got people working under you, and you got minimum wage at $7.20. Who the fuck can live off of $7.25? Who the fuck can live off of $8? Who the fuck in this time can live off of $10? Maximum wage, man. They can afford it. And see, they don't want that type shit. And black people, we damn sure ain't gonna give ourselves no maximum wage. Because every time I work for a black person, it's always personal. Nigga, it's a business. Why are you talking to me about your wife and what's going on with your wife and your kid? I don't give a fuck about that. I want to get this job done so I can get the fuck home. Now, if I don't engage with this black owner, then he gonna say, oh, he feeling some kind of way. So now he gonna start making my job hell. Start complaining about shit that I don't even need to. Start doing shit that managers don't need to do. Like be in the kitchen helping me, nigga. You don't need to help if I didn't ask you for help. Get the fuck out. You the owner. Go handle some business. Go get some more contracts. Try to open up another store, nigga. But black people stay there to try to act like they're king. Who are you trying to convince that you're a king? Okay? You're not convincing me because I'm already convinced that I'm a king. And a king recognizes another king. So if I see your ass as a duke, a prince, or a steward, or a lord, or a servant boy, that's what the fuck you is, bro. You got to present yourself to people as what you are. But your people have to respect you when you do that. Self-hatred is real, man. Listen to this Malcolm X, man. Listen to this, man. Self-hatred is real. People sitting there playing, man. This thing is real. This man helped build an organization. He brought in 40,000 people within 12 years. And because he disagreed, no, because he spoke when he was taught to speak, he got silenced. And when he got silenced, they wasn't never gonna put him back up. And that's crazy. How can you go through all these ranks, but when you get demoted, you go all the way back down to the bottom? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. It was all a game. Check this out.
What I said, the Muslims claim I bombed my house. And if anybody can find where I bombed my house, they can put a rifle bullet through my head. It was my children and my own life and my wife's life that was at stake. You know what the degree, what temperature was? It was about 15 or 20. I stood in my underwear, bare feet, in the middle of my driveway with a gun in my hand for 45 minutes, waiting for the police or waiting for the fire department to come. If I want to put on a show, I can find a better way than that to put it on. And if you attack me, that's one thing. I know what to do when you start attacking me. But when you attack sleeping babies while you are lower than a gut.
I think the attitude of the police and the press saying that my husband had bombed his own house, I think it was very unfair for them to make this accusation against him after all of the times that he had said publicly, he had said privately, he had said on a lot of occasions that we had received several threats, that his life was in danger, and everyone took it lightly and said that he was talking out of his mind, that it didn't happen. And when I know he knew, and everyone else actually knew, that threats from time to time had been made on his life, but he was just lucky to get past it. We received threatening phone calls, and all of these things were reported. And the police and the press, when the house was bombed, they were very unfair to us, saying that my husband had bombed his own house, which was very ridiculous.
Minister Malcolm, when you broke with Elijah Muhammad back in March, you said it was because the black Muslims were too narrowly sectarian and inhibited, and because Elijah Muhammad had become blindly jealous of you and the personal following you had gathered.
I said the first part, but the last part, I didn't say that Elijah Muhammad himself had become blindly jealous. I mentioned that it was his family and the officials in Chicago. Everything that I said always was designed to protect Mr. Muhammad himself, primarily because the image that he had created was the image that enabled his followers to remain strong in faith and things of that sort, and I didn't want to see any adverse effect or negative result develop in the faith of all of his followers.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, despite the fact that I tried to protect the Muslim movement, if you'll notice, they used their newspaper to slander me and to label me as a hypocrite and as a rebel, and Mr. Muhammad himself said that I defected. Well, in reality, I never even left the Muslim movement. They put me out. And they put me out because of what I knew, and what I knew was told to me by Mr. Muhammad's son, Wallace Muhammad himself. They put me out and they put him out.
Well, now, first of all, let's find out what it is that Wallace Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's son, told you.
Well, number one, if you notice, the stick that I always used in presenting, representing, and defending the Muslim movement was the fact that it had the ability to reform the morals of the so-called Negro community. It eliminated drug addiction, alcoholism, fornication, adultery, loose sexual behavior, which meant that it eliminated bastard babies, illegitimate children. Well, as long as I knew that this was what it represented and it gave me a strong stick, I could represent it and defend it. But we had a law which was that whenever any Muslim became involved in any kind of sexual relationship with someone to whom they weren't married, that person would be brought before the Muslim community, humiliated, and then isolated for from 1 to 5 years. This was our law. Well, in 1954, a teenage sister left Detroit and became one of Mr. Muhammad's personal secretaries. And there in the Chicago office, she became pregnant after being there for a year. And she was brought before the Muslim community and humiliated and isolated. And a year later, another secretary, this time one from Lansing, Michigan, came to Chicago. She also became pregnant. She was brought before the community and humiliated and isolated. And because the other person was never brought forth during this court session, it was concluded by all of Mr. Muhammad's followers that it was a non-Muslim who was the other party. Well, we grew so rapidly until that in 1957 or 58, the secretarial staff was expanded to, I think, 8 teenage sisters. In 1959, 6 of them disappeared. 2 of them reappeared in Philadelphia about 2 or 3 months later, and they were all right. The other 4 reappeared in 1960. All 4 of them had babies. All 4 of them had become involved with someone and become pregnant and had these children. So it was, from what I now know, when the 4 of them got back to Chicago and began to compare notes, they found that the same man had told all of them the same story and had made all of them pregnant. That the same man was the father of all 4 of their children and had also been the father of the children brought forth by the 2 secretaries who preceded them. So this story was kept among these sisters until 1962. 2 of them rebelled against the person who was responsible and began to tell the story all over the city of Chicago. It caused many of the Muslims in the Chicago mosque to leave and go back out in the street. They knew it, and I knew nothing about it until 1963, when Mr. Muhammad's son, who had been in prison, came out, and he had been a minister. He was very religious and spiritual, and when he began to hear these rumors around Chicago, he went to one of the sisters, and the sister admitted to him that the rumor was true, and it was he who first told me about it. And when he told me about it, I wrote to Mr. Muhammad and told him about it, and he admitted that he had a knowledge of it, and that he'd given me a religious explanation that would fit into prophecy and all of that. So I was quiet, and it wasn't until October of 1963 that it came up again. And when it came up again,
Now, Malcolm X said Elijah Muhammad explained to him religiously, and it fit into prophecy. Malcolm X said he left it alone. Check it out.
then I realized that the same person who had made these other sisters pregnant was still busy doing the same thing. He hadn't stopped. 2 of the sisters had 2 children by the same man, and one of those 2 sisters was pregnant still, getting ready to have a 3rd child by the same man. Among the Chicago officials that I had a knowledge of this, they became very fearful of me. They became very antagonistic toward me, and they had something to diminish the authority that I had, for fear that if this became public knowledge, the followers would leave the Muslim movement and follow me. And it was at that time that they used the statement that I made against President Kennedy as a pretext to cut my authority. And
Now I'm going to tell you the prophecy. If you look in the Bible, all the prophets always had a side piece. But see, only one, I think one never had one. Hosea. Nobody don't want to be Hosea now. Hosea's wife, she was a whore. She had she had a man buy her, and God told him to go get his wife back. So he had to go and buy his wife back from her pimp. Now, nobody don't want to be Hosea, but everybody want to be, oh yeah, I'm a prophet. I got to spread my seed like Jacob did, like Abraham did. You heard me? I'm trying to tell you, that's that bullshit, man.
some other things happened that finally produced the split, or forced the split. And when I made the split, the only reason that I didn't make this public knowledge was I knew the implications, and I felt that if the Muslims who were in the Nation of Islam knew it, that which enabled them to be so strongly religious and exercise moral discipline would be shattered, and it would cause all of them to go right back and start doing the things that they had been doing previously.
Who is the father of all of these various children whom you have enumerated?
The first one to tell me who the father was Wallace Muhammad, and he told me that the father was Elijah Muhammad himself. One of the sisters, he went to the home of one of the sisters, and when he walked in the door, she said, "I want to let you see something." And she showed him her child. She said, "Here's your brother, and your father is the father of this child." And then I questioned the sisters myself, because I was shook up. And they admitted to me that Elijah Muhammad was the father of their children. And I took it to him. And it was at that time he told me that he was Muhammad, the prophet, and that Muhammad had 9 wives. He also told me that...
Now I told you, going into the Bible, he told Malcolm that he was Muhammad Rasulullah of 1400 years ago. But then they were saying that they didn't teach that Islam of 1400 years ago. Nation of Islam say they don't teach that Orthodox Islam. They teach the science of Islam. So to me, it's all manipulation. To me, all them black organizations, man, y'all need to stop supporting them and research your own family history and find out where your family come from and support your family tribe, bro.
He was David. He was the modern David, and that he was the modern Solomon, and that he was meant. It was meant for him to fulfill today all of the things that they did back there.
And how?
He said he was Solomon, David, and Muhammad. Damn, why you pick all the players in the Bible? My God, Solomon had 400 wives. Why you pick all the players? Why you ain't pick Adam? How many wives Adam had? Hello. Come on. I thought so.
How many of these illegitimate children did he father with the sisters?
Well, he made 6 sisters pregnant. They all had children. 2 of those 6 had 2 children. One of those 2 is having a child right now. I am told that there is a 7th sister who is supposed to be in Mexico right now, and she's supposed to be having a child by him. For one thing, when you first separate from your wife, it's a physical separation, but it's not psychological. You still have feelings for her, and you protect her. But after the physical separation has taken place for a while, it becomes a psychological separation. It was the same way with me and the Muslim movement. When I first separated, it was a physical separation, but my feeling was still there. And it was only after my trip into the Muslim world and my pilgrimage to Mecca that I really was able to exercise the objective approach to it that enabled me to see that something had to be done to bring this to...
Check this out. Farrakhan said Malcolm been to Mecca. No, Farrakhan said he been to Mecca numerous times. Got to be slick now. And then he said Martin. Then he said Malcolm been to Saudi Arabia. Mecca and Saudi Arabia is 2 different motherfucking things, bro. Okay. Malcolm couldn't get in. If Malcolm been to Mecca, he would have learned how to pray when he went to precede Elijah Muhammad. Okay? When Malcolm went over there and tried to get into the city of Mecca in time of Ramadan, his ass couldn't get up in there because he didn't know how to pray. Muslim brother came in there and gave him the Kalima Shahada and taught him the Salats, and then that brother became his guide and got Malcolm X into Mecca. Okay? So Farrakhan sitting here still lying through all these damn years. You can't trust them brothers, man. Elijah Muhammad them sat there in front of them news reporter people tell them that they didn't have nothing to do. They ain't know nothing about what happened to Malcolm. That's a black mafia, man. I mean, I ain't down with that shit, man.
Like
murdering your own kind, man. Get out of here, man.
Killed needlessly.
Well, these revelations that you are now making about Elijah Muhammad, what effect should they have on his following?
Well, I very much doubt that any of his followers who really are aware of what he has done would continue to follow him. He may try and justify it by saying that he's a Muslim, and that a Muslim has the right to these wives. If this were the case, these sisters should not have been humiliated. These sisters have been looked upon for the past 5 years, or 6 years, or 7 years as being guilty of having committed fornication. They have been debased. They have been degraded. I have heard him himself refer to them as having disgraced him. So if they were his wives, he should have given them a position of respect so that all of his followers would respect him and that they would have the protection of his followers today.
Well, do you feel that you then perhaps now should take over the leadership of the black Muslims?
No, I have no desire to take over the leadership of the black Muslims, and I have never had that desire. But I do have this desire. I have a desire to see the Afro-American in this country get the human rights that are his due. I believe that the Islam religion is the...
See, I'm leaving on that. See, Malcolm told you his purpose. He knew what his purpose was, to uplift his people for real, not no bullshit. Malcolm knew his purpose was to uplift his people. But his people didn't want to be uplifted. They loved the devil because the devil give them nothing. And the devil is not only a white man, because it was a black devil that made them. Remember that. Or we the originals, but you don't want to take we the most evilest motherfuckers in the world too. The white man don't got shit on our, the white man evil don't got shit on our evil towards ourselves. You eat your brothers in Africa, man. You eat your own brothers. Cannibalism. You eat monkeys, nigga. That's cannibalism. Them your cousins. You crazy. Because of what you eat. You love the devil because the devil gives you nothing but death. Death is not a trend. Wake up out of that shit, man.